Did Dracula only drink blood? Or did he ever have a beer on the weekends? If magic isn't real, how does mac and cheese taste so good? All of these questions you can find the answer to on this Paranormal Life! Hello, welcome to this Paranormal Life. Didn't feel like jumping into the big scream at the start.
I'm all set. You did a good job, though.
Okay. All right. Welcome to This Paranormal Life, the comedy paranormal podcast, where every week, myself, usually Kit, but sometimes he's not up to it, apparently, investigate a brand new...
Don't take it personally.
No, it's fine. Just, I didn't know that you didn't want to do the podcast today. Dive into a brand new paranormal tale and come to a conclusion as to whether or not we believe it's paranormal. My name's Rory, the only one hosting this podcast today. Very excited to be diving into a paranormal story. I'll just unplug that mic, actually. Here, I'll just unplug that mic real quick. Yeah, because you're not going to be using it. So,
It's such a small thing to just not do, and you seem to be crashing out over it, frankly.
Yeah, just if the energy's not there, then it's like I feel like, you know, that I have to overcompensate.
But the energy is here. I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to get into a new story. I'm happy. It's Tuesday. It's that time of the week. We're here for the listeners. I'm here for you.
Okay.
Maybe not on the intro, but for the rest of the podcast.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we're good. We're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Because
How
I'm
you
just
doing
like
today? You good? You
yeah. I've had
like
9
what's-
coffees since I woke up this morning, 45 minutes ago, because my script wasn't done and I had to finish it very, very quickly. So there's a portion of this towards the end that's all in cap locks. It gets very intense.
Yeah, you did finish this seconds before hitting record.
Yeah. But hey,
And then you hit the return key and declared it the best podcast yet. I was like, shut the hell up.
Kid's not joking. I literally was like 2 more minutes, almost done, and done. This is a banger.
Yeah, I'm going to win the Pulitzer for this.
And you just, you know, I can understand that you don't believe it, but you have to realize that, you know, Michelangelo finished a painting. There was a moment where he finished a painting and said, this is sick. You know, he wasn't like,
Yeah.
let me think about this for a second. And then a couple months went past and he was like, this is a good painting.
Well, sure.
Sometimes when art is made and done in the moment, you know it's beautiful.
Sometimes, but I feel like a lot of people get imposter syndrome, but they're like, oh, nothing I do is good enough. Whereas you hit, like I say, full stop, return key, I'm a golden god.
Yeah, my imposter syndrome is me thinking I'm good at my job.
Yeah.
I have reverse imposter syndrome. Listen, I've got a great story today for our audience that sure might have been finished 45 seconds ago, but that is not a reflection of the quality of the story. This is a fantastic case, one that is often referred to as France's Roswell. That's right, we're going to France today. Is everyone excited?
Oh, now this is actually timely because I'm sorry,
Nope.
Is this connected? You're about to go to France.
I am about to go to France.
Why did you say no?
Because this is coming out after I've gone to France.
Yeah, well,
So,
sure.
yeah, I thought we were going to try to keep the illusion.
But in real life,
Sure, yeah.
yeah.
You're actually going to... Nope. Shut up.
Shut
Off.
This is a lie.
Yes, I am going to Paris this
Yes.
weekend,
Great.
which will have been several weekends
Yeah,
ago by the time it
fine.
comes out. But no. Today's case is taking place in a location called Valensole. We are about to dive into France's Roswell. But first, a reminder, if you want to support this podcast, the best place to do it is on patreon.com, where you can get a ton of extra cool rewards like bonus episodes. We're talking hundreds of bonus episodes at this point of paranormal cases and extra podcasts that we've recorded over the years. And for as little as $5, you can get access to all of it. So, you know what? Just go do it. Just go do it. It's that simple.
Patreon.com/this paranormal life. Link is in the description of wherever you're watching this.
Just do it. Our story today kicks off in 1965, Valensole, France. It was July 1st, and Maurice Mass, a 41-year-old farmer, was walking through the lavender fields of his small farm, enjoying the summer heat. Ah, you can't beat the fresh smell of lavender. Oh wait, of course you can. Maurice popped a cigarette into his mouth and took out his lighter. He raised it to his face, but a burst of wind extinguished the flame. What's the... Gazing upward, Maurice spotted an object in the distance, gently descending from the sky and landing carefully in the middle of his lavender fields. It was far enough out that Maurice couldn't really see the shape, so he assumed it was a helicopter. And apparently this wasn't the first time helicopters had landed illegally in his fields. So Maurice dropped his cigarette and ran over to give him a piece of his mind. But as he approached the object, he realized this was no helicopter. As a matter of fact, as soon as I describe this thing, you're gonna wonder whether or not Maurice has ever seen a helicopter before. In the middle of the lavender fields was a large oval object, shaped almost like a rugby ball, resting on 4 legs that protruded from the bottom down into the dirt. In the middle of the object was some kind of window where through it Maurice could see 2 back-to-back seats. And unfortunately, the craft wasn't unattended. Beside it were the pilots. 2 small boys. They looked like they couldn't have been older than 8 years old. Maurice was confused, but also pissed off, because not only had they landed in his field, they'd interrupted his cigarette, and you don't do that to a Frenchman. So he balled up his fists and stormed towards the kids. But as he got closer to the scene, those fists unraveled. Maurice's face went white as he realized the 2 figures in front of him weren't children at all. Maurice said that the 2 humanoids were about the size of 8-year-old boys, with pale skin, big bald heads, with huge eyes and sharp chins. The creatures were dressed in blue and green jumpsuits, communicating in a series of grunts and rumbling noises, even though their mouths weren't moving at all. Which is kind of funny to me, to be able to evolve to the point where you have unlocked the powers of telepathy. You don't even have to move your mouth to communicate with each other. But the way the noises you're making to communicate are like...
This is just how Irish men talk. This is, especially if they're hungover.
As I said, kid, if you're struggling to picture this scene today, don't worry. Weirdly, we have a lot of artists' interpretations to help us today. Apparently, people love to paint this story for some reason. So here's one right off the bat. Take a look at this and then scroll down and see the other one.
Okay. Let's ignore the freaky little dudes for just a second.
It's hard to do that, though.
It is.
Sure.
Yeah,
this
okay.
was Maurice.
Actually, let's
This is Maurice in the field. I'm going to ignore the freaky little dudes for a second.
For just a moment.
Just a moment.
Just one more drag of my cigarette. I haven't quite woken up today.
And they're like, and you're like, yeah, I know. No, I do see you. No, we're going to get to you in a second.
Yeah, I'm imagining talking to those guys is like when I tried to catch a bee in my house recently. So I was like, I've done this all the time with other bugs. Let me just put a pint glass over it or something.
Sure.
Get him drunk. No, a clean pint glass and then slide, a letter or something underneath. You've got it self-contained. Put him outside. I wasn't, and he's like doing his normal bee noise.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for how angry he would get. Or at least I thought he would get angry. I was anticipating that. I didn't know he could sound angry.
How did he sound?
He went from like to when I put the glass around, he went. He got so loud, I could genuinely. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Okay." I like retreated to assess the situation again. He's like,
why does it sound like he's like cocking back his fist to try to make you flinch? I'm gonna get you if you don't.
He's probably like, I'm gonna. He's taking his pointy thing out of his sheath. He's like, I'm gonna
little stinger, yeah. Oh, wait till I tell the queen about this. Oh, you're gonna be in trouble. That's not funny for you.
Yeah, it's really, yeah. Oh, you thought you were cute. Oh, you thought you were cute. Oh, that's cool.
It's like, buddy, you're at a huge disadvantage here. You're in the jar. Wait till I get out of this.
You're gonna starve to death. There's no honey, no flowers in sight. So I eventually had to just power through. But it wasn't it. It was interesting. All he had to do was get a little louder and a little higher pitched, and I was thrown for a loop.
Yeah.
That's how I imagined these guys would go. It's like, and then if you anger them, it becomes,
Yeah.
You know?
Telepathic screaming. It's like, calm down.
Are you in pain?
Is there an adult? Are you the grown-ups? What the is happening here?
Are you an adult?
This is the noise they make after Maurice offered them a cigarette. It's like, okay, it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. I thought you were adults.
They're slowly dying.
I'm 6. It's like, oh, you shouldn't have smoked that then. You're way too young.
So excited. Do you guys want a cigarette? How disturbing that is. Taking a drag of a cigarette.
It's like, exhale. They don't know. They don't know how to smoke a cigarette. One of their heads just pops. You weren't built for cigarettes. God damn. You were built for vapes.
Getting back to the guys. Let's focus on the guys. The painting really captures the childlike qualities, which actually makes sense. So they're relatively short, and it makes sense because alien greys, which is essentially what we're dealing with here, spoiler alert in this image.
For sure.
They have very alien grey-like typical appearance. Alien greys, one of the primary characteristics is that they have heads that are disproportionately large for their bodies. You know who else has that? Little kids.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah, that is the same across the animal kingdom, particularly in mammals, as well as they've quite like small torsos.
Yeah,
not a ton of neck, and then quite long kind of limbs. So anyway, they capture a really good childlike quality in this image.
There's a second picture there if you scroll down, which is even funnier.
Whoa! They kind of look weirdly, more human there. Almost more goblin-like.
Yeah, goblin's a good way to describe it.
And they have little suits.
Yeah.
They kind of look, in that second image at least, like they live on Tatooine in Star Wars.
Yeah, little Star Wars creatures.
Looking at the craft quickly, it's a blimp. I mean, it's not a blimp. It's clearly a UFO, but it's very much similar to a blimp in the sense that it's a large, as you say, rugby ball, American football shaped object with kind of almost a little, what looks like a little cabin underneath attached to it.
Yeah.
And then, a kind of tripod or quadrupod.
A weird scene to come across in the middle of a lavender field. Maurice watched these two little weirdos as they mumbled back and forth to each other, until he got a little too close to his guests. Suddenly, both figures turned to face him. Bonjour? Apparently that word means something very different wherever these guys come from.
Uh-oh.
Because upon hearing it, one of the creatures raised some kind of metal pen, pointed it at Maurice, and he was immediately paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
Maurice claims that his body locked up so hard, he couldn't even blink. He was trapped on the spot, all while remaining fully conscious. The strange beings then quickly shoved the magic pen back into their pocket, ran into the rugby ball-shaped UFO, and once inside, the object blasted upwards with a loud whistling sound. Within seconds, they were gone. Now here is what I think is the scariest part of this whole story. After the UFO had flown away, Maurice didn't unfreeze.
Oh, dear God. There's a photo of him today in a hospital bed.
On the spot.
Oh, God.
He said that panic started to set in once he realized he was frozen solid, stuck in place in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
Luckily, after about 20 minutes, he regained control of his body and was able to walk again.
Interesting.
Which is extra scary to just be stuck in that. You watch the craft go, and then you're like, well, what happens now?
Yeah. Guess what he sounded like, by the way?
You know, the second that the plane leaves as well, you're like, oh boy, this is going to be bad. Oh, coyote noise in the distance. You're like,
Yeah.
Needless to say, after this encounter, Maurice was in shambles. He said that whatever this magic space pen had done to him, he couldn't stay awake for more than 4 hours.
Oh.
Almost like he'd undergone anesthesia. And then afterwards, you have that like lingering drowsiness.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah. It's like they tranked him like a wild animal.
Yeah. Look, some people may or may not know this. I was put under quite a few times growing up because I had a bad ear and I had to have it operated on a number of times. So it's a very strange feeling to be put under, to be given anesthesia for kind of operations and things like that. And when you do like come to, you are in this, you feel like your head is like a fishbowl on your shoulders. And it's very hard to like stay awake. You kind of keep falling asleep. This sounds a little bit like what happened in this story.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, can I just jump ahead and just, I don't know, hopefully nip something in the bud? We've had a lot of stories. I don't want to say like this because I'm sure this one is unique and amazing.
It is unique. Yeah.
And it's, and it, hey,
Did you
and
hear about the magic pen?
I'm gripped so far.
Great. You're locked in.
Yes. But sometimes in a kind of alien interaction story like this, and a story I presented very recently went down this path too.
Must have been a good story.
Are we going to get like 2/3 of the way through and then he does like regressive hypnosis and then realizes a whole like 2/3 of the story that we're not hearing right now? Can we just skip to that bit if that's about to happen?
I'm so happy today to tell you that there is no hypnotherapy involved in this story at all.
That's a relief.
It actually is. I think we used to love that at one point when a story had that. It's like, but it turns out he was brought on board the craft. Now that's like the worst thing I hear. I don't want to hear that at all.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's like the movie version of they woke up at the end and it was all a dream.
Yeah.
It's actually the inverse of that. It's like, there's actually, let's enter the dream and hear half of the story where all the actual events happen.
Yeah, and this is where all the insane shit happens too, which we can't prove. No, I'm very happy to say that is not the case. I think you're going to be surprised, Kit, by the way that today's case unfolds and delivers you safely into the arms of a double yes.
Whoa.
That's right. I think
that's a lot
today
of talk.
We have something that could possibly be definitively paranormal.
Something that could possibly be definitively paranormal. So
yes.
confident.
Yes, yes. And don't needle me anymore or you'll get the pen.
Benjamin.
And my pen doesn't freeze people. It shoots bullets. Maurice considered burying what had happened to him deep inside, but eventually he confided his story to a close friend. And allegedly it was this friend who contacted the police and kicked off the official investigation into the Valensole UFO. So not even Maurice himself. Someone took it upon themselves to leak his story and get it involved in the press and with the police. And his story was thoroughly investigated by French police. Yes, that's right. The French police decided that if they couldn't see the UFO for themselves, the next best thing they could do was visit the site where it landed. So they went out to the lavender field to interview Maurice and investigate the site. And this is where the story gets wild. That's actually not true. It's already pretty nuts. But it gets a little bit wilder. When police arrived at the scene, without Maurice saying a word, it was already clear exactly where the craft had landed. According to the reports, there was a large imprint in the ground that included a hole 30 centimeters deep with 4 lines jetting out from it in an X pattern. I have some photos of the site, Kit, if you want to look at them today.
Please.
Here we go.
Okay. Yeah, I was expecting like a close-up or something. But yeah, it's a picture of the site. Sorry, this was a farm? Is that it?
Lavender fields.
Oh, lavender. Okay. I was trying to figure out what they were planting or growing here.
Yeah,
okay.
that's lavender popping out of the ground.
That's cool. I guess I never thought about what lavender looks like, but yeah, it looks like they're growing little bushes. And then it is clearly disturbed in a circular charred pattern in the ground.
Yeah.
Where some of it was destroyed.
And there's Maurice chilling there beside it.
Yeah, these aliens are probably very confused, thinking that all of Earth smells like lavender. It's like, you landed on a lavender farm, sir. Yeah, cool. It's cool to see. There's clearly a large clearing. There's no ambiguity as to where this took place.
Yeah, sometimes these photos aren't that exciting, but they're just a little reminder that this is a real place with real people and something really did kind of happen, whether it was paranormal or not.
Yeah.
I don't know much about lavender fields, admittedly, but apparently the soil is usually pretty soft, and the area where the UFO had landed in the coming days had become so hard that it almost reached the consistency of concrete. Apparently, also, analysis of the dirt and plants nearby showed a higher concentration of calcium, whatever that means. And of course, getting the police involved meant the case was getting a lot of unwanted attention. It wasn't long before the whole town was talking about crazy old Maurice and his alien children. Cuckoo! News spread like a wildfire through the village of Valensole. And even further, it wasn't long before news reporters and ufologists were chasing down Maurice for an interview, which is exactly what he didn't want to happen. Because a reminder, he didn't even want to tell police about this case in the first place.
Yeah.
It was a friend.
He just wanted to smoke cigarettes. I think we've established that.
Which, listen, I kind of respect it. You know, I know that I say that the problem with the world is that there aren't enough people coming forward with their paranormal encounters. After 400 episodes of This Paranormal Life, I think a few less people should come forward. I think...
Bring back shame.
I think... I don't know. I like this story because it's kind of like, this is someone who didn't even want to tell their story, which does kind of just add an extra layer of believability to it. Because you can kind of rule out essentially them doing it for fame, money, a book deal, something like that. Now, another good thing that this case has going for it is that everyone who did manage to interview Maurice, police, investigators, news reporters, they all said that even though he was clearly in a state of shock, he still gave a clear and concise testimony and was of sound mind and body. In fact, because of these investigations, we actually managed to get a drawing, a sketch of the craft straight from Maurice himself.
Okay, dope.
So this is a kind of a very rough doodle of what he remembers the object looking like.
Yeah, good to have. It is good to have. Yeah, like a blimp, almost like a submarine, honestly, like a cartoon. Think of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, but less cartoonish.
Yeah.
It's that kind of proportion.
With a little kind of extra dome on top and a little door in the middle.
Yeah. Can it travel at light speed? I don't know.
We don't know. But like the best cases we investigate on this podcast, there's actually a twist in today's story. Because believe it or not, this wasn't the only time this exact craft had been spotted. It had appeared almost exactly 1 year earlier in New Mexico. On the 24th of April, 1964, a local patrolman named Lonnie Zamora spotted a strange glowing flame in the sky, jetting down towards the desert. Worried that whatever this flame was would accidentally hit a hut containing dynamite, which is a thing, I guess, in the desert,
Yeah.
he raced towards the object. But as he reached a hilltop overlooking the landing site, he got a clearer view at what had come down from the sky. It was a silvery egg-shaped object resting on 4 legs. And brace yourself, kid. Beside it, 2 small humanoid figures the size of children.
Huh.
In white jumpsuits, just like Maurice had seen a year later.
Okay, we're getting into something interesting. We have cross-corroborating witnesses.
Let's
people
go.
who are unconnected but saw a very similar thing, if not the same thing.
Are these little homies on a road trip?
Yeah.
Trying to see as much stuff as they can. They've been on the road for a long time. Bathroom on the ship starts to smell. Gotta stop at the lavender fields.
Right.
Make some potpourri. You know? Make the place smell a little fresher.
Sorry, one more time. what was that?
Potpourri? Is that what it's called?
Sure.
Yeah.
What language is that?
Potpourri? What are you, am I saying that right? The shit in bathrooms?
Yeah.
Well, the shit to cover up shit in bathrooms.
I guess only
It's
right.
the opposite.
Yeah. I guess only that. Yeah. Potpourri. Yeah.
Potpourri.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
See. Potpourri.
Why see? Is it Spanish? I don't know where it's. Yeah.
What is, how do we, because this is maybe some people don't know what potpourri is. It's
something. It's such a weird, deep memory, isn't it, in your brain as to what potpourri is?
Potpourri is.
It doesn't come up very often in life, but it does exist.
It doesn't help that it's spelt poopery. Wait,
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
No,
It's
it's not. It's not.
potpourri.
Potpourri. It is. Potpourri. I was
Where'd you
like,
get
don't
that
call
from?
it poo.
Because that's the thing. The T is silent.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I feel like no one has potpourri anymore.
Yeah, it's a very old school
I remember it
thing.
growing up, like my friends' parents would have it and stuff.
Yeah, for those people who don't know what the we're talking about, I just thought Rory was having a stroke. Potpourri.
Stop ruling the R. You need to stop ruling the R right now. You gotta stop that.
I'm not going to call it potpourri, am I?
You have
You
to.
have to put a little wah into it.
Where does it come from? And then we'll decide.
Good question.
But it'd be the same right now if you were like, hey, this morning I had a beautiful croissant. I'd be like, all right, you can soften it up a little bit.
It comes from France.
Does it? Interesting.
The name literally meaning rotten pot.
Brilliant.
It was originally covered. Hey, listen, this is what it is. We're not telling people what it is if you don't know. It's a mixture of dried, fragrant plants like flower petals and leaves and spices that you kind of put together in a bowl, and it provides a gentle, natural scent to a space.
It really does smell quite strongly, actually.
And good too. If you
Yeah.
obviously you can pick what you want, like a bit of rose petals in there. That's nice. Oh, a bit of cinnamon.
Who made you the mayor of potpourri?
I like potpourri. I'm a cultured potpourri.
It's really.
Yeah. So and lavender. Lavender is one you would use in a bath.
I haven't thought about it since like 2019 or something, because I was producing an audiobook with an Australian guy, this like quite famous Australian businessman, and he didn't know how to say it. So he was like, we had a big bowl of potpourri. And I was like, I don't think that's how that's said. We had spent a long time looking up the history of it, which I've entirely forgotten.
Yeah.
So real throwback.
That is it's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. So there you go, guys. If you see potpourri written down, it's pronounced potpourri.
It's not. No, everyone's gonna look. If you say it like Rory, everyone's gonna look at you funny.
Everyone's gonna bully you. Zamora, the individual who witnessed this craft in New Mexico, radioed his sergeant calling for backup, but before he could even explain what he was seeing, the craft jetted upwards back into the sky. Now, luckily, Zamora saw the UFO long enough to compile a sketch of his own of the craft. Kit, I have that sketch also here today. So,
wow, here we go.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of evidence in these cases.
I think these aliens just heard there was a guy called Zamora, and they were like, he sounds like he's from our shit.
A homie?
From our planet.
Yeah. Check this out.
Okay. Wishing he had spent a little more time on this drawing. This was drawn in 8 to 12 seconds flat.
Well, this was 1964 as well, so they hadn't.
So what? They didn't have pencils? What are you trying to say?
They didn't even. Art wasn't a subject in school yet.
That's
you know.
Not true. That's not true. His handwriting is quite nice, actually. So anyway,
maybe that's just what it looked like. It was just a circle with legs, and that's it. It's simple. It's like if someone says like draw an egg, and you're like, okay, well here it is. I'm not gonna start shading it or like adding cracks. An egg is a very simple thing to draw.
I just think if a UFO lands, because we know what an egg looks like. That's part of why we don't fill in those gaps.
Yeah. Well, a lot of UFOs do look like eggs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a potato on stilts, which is, as it happens, quite similar to the description of the other craft.
Very similar, Kit. Now jump forward a year later, and we're back with Maurice in Valensole. A French investigator named Amy Michel, who had heard Maurice's story, recognized the similarities between his encounter and the events that took place a year earlier in New Mexico.
Okay.
So they went to interview Maurice and ask him a few more questions about what he saw. After a series of questions, they took a piece of paper out of their bag. One last thing before I go. This craft you claim to have seen, did it look something like this? Amy handed him the drawing that patrolman Lonnie Zamora had done 1 year ago, and Maurice's face went white. She told him that this craft was seen across the ocean in America, and he replied, "You see, I was not dreaming." Pretty crazy stuff, Kit.
I like that Amy was Poirot there. Just before I go.
And one more
thing.
Yeah. Hey, fair play. That's some good investigative journalism.
Yeah, well,
linking cases together.
pre-internet, Rory and I were lazy sods. Now we can look up anything we need to know at the flick of a wrist on a keyboard.
Yes, you used to have to go out into the town and find a store that was selling porno videos. And now
What?
isn't that what you're saying?
No, not
With
that
the
kind
internet,
of
it's
flicking
like
the wrist,
way,
bro. No.
now it's like way easier and you can just do it like online.
I wasn't talking about porn though. I was talking about paranormal evidence. I was talking about the newspaper report from America.
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
No, we're both saying
buying porno.
we're saying the same thing. We're saying how easy it is now to get paranormal evidence or anything. So yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, cool. No, we're on the same page. I obviously I use the internet for totally normal reasons to order potpourri from Amazon.com.
Pornpourri. Pornographic potpourri.
Now, Kit, if you weren't already convinced that today's case is edging towards the elusive double yes, it's time for the final nail in the coffin. Editor Phil, sound the Dr. J. Allen Hynek alarm.
Oh, shit. All right.
Woo! At this point, I'm not going to explain to you who this guy is. He's our favorite person in the entire world, and he is on record saying that the Valensole UFO and the Socorro incident in New Mexico, as it's referred to, are two of the cases that helped convince him that UFO encounters were genuine.
Really?
So there you go. He name checks them.
That's interesting.
As being two in his career that really won him over and made him start to realize that there were credible stories out there.
Yeah. Hynek is a funny one because he, researched so many stories, so many famous stories, and is famous in his own right. But he was kind of muzzled by working for various branches of the United States government.
Yeah.
So it's this kind of weird one where you kind of, and you can infer, and from some of his statements, that he did believe in UFO phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't kind of this paranormal lifestyle, give things like yeses or nos all the time. You know?
Yeah, that's why he really is the best to ever do it. Being part of the government, but paid by the government to investigate these things, and not even to figure out if they're real or not. It feels like in a lot of cases, it's just like, talk to these people, go there, hear the stories, compile a report of what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
But it's very, he doesn't even always come down on answers. Sometimes he's like, I don't know. This is kind of crazy, but I don't know what's going on.
Well, but also the problem is, I think in a lot of his writing, he had to be like, yeah, there's nothing here. Wink.
Right, you think, but I mean...
Yeah, but I mean, he said that in his writings. He was like, by the way, we were told to explain away stories constantly.
Which is so stupid because it's like, you guys paid me to investigate this.
Yeah. Now I will pay you to get it to go away. I could have just done nothing.
Yeah.
I could have just not done anything.
How much to make this story go away? 100,000? 200,000? It's like, you're paying me to write it. Oh, you're a tricky one, Hynek. You're a sneaky little bastard.
It's probably way closer to the reality of how this shit worked as well, which is he was probably being paid by the Air Force to write these stories, and then the CIA was like, you can't publish that. It was probably different branches of government even.
Yeah. I probably was back in those days. But great to see in today's case that Hynek, one of our favorite paranormal investigators of all time, really loves these stories and believes that they are both very credible. Before we wrap up, the only thing that I don't like in this story, which maybe isn't fair to say it like that, but Maurice later in life did claim that the beings shared with him some important information.
I told you earlier.
This isn't the same thing.
I need to know the whole story.
This is the whole story. This is the end of the story. Look, this is the nicest way that he can possibly reveal this to us. He said, they shared with him some important information. Whenever they asked what it was, he says, I'm not telling you, and then he died.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's fine. He just kept it to himself, and then that's it.
It's hard to know, isn't it? Do people just... we know people just lose their minds at the end of their life, don't they?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do.
We went to see while
I'm losing mine now.
Just ahead of time.
Uh-oh. Does that mean death's around the corner? Uh-oh. I hope not.
We went to see an improv show in LA at UCB Theatre. Always a pleasure to go see that.
It's great.
And for one of the sketches, the woman who's doing a monologue told a story, I believe, wasn't it, of her father or grandfather dying?
Yeah.
But this was the premise, was like, she was like, no one tells you that the last words aren't like last words in a movie, because very often you start going kind of mad and delirious right before you die, whether that's biology or whether that's medication. And I think the joke was that he started telling his family a story of like the time he got his dick sucked at a carnival or something right before he died. But like, yeah, I don't know. You know, like maybe the stuff right at the end of life, maybe that's not even true.
Yeah, that's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, it's a little bit worrying because I definitely have stories in my life that I've buried deep down inside me so far that to me they never happened and don't exist. That's how embarrassing they were. Like the time I mispronounced potpourri on a podcast in front of thousands of people. But it's scary to think that with being on death's door with a huge dose of morphine, that the floodgates just open up.
Probably. Yeah.
And it all just starts coming out.
It's like if I did ecstasy now, those stories would come out, probably.
You think so?
Yeah. I think so. I think that's how it works. I think
it just takes so little for you to start opening up. Kid had a sip of Red Bull the other day.
It was placebo, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, this is how, you know, MDMA assisted psychotherapy works. You know, you have veterans who have traumatic PTSD, and then
I gave Kit a sip of Miller Lite the other day, and he went, I once jerked off a goose. Just to see what noise he'd make when he
And the noise was pretty much like what you'd think. Took me like 45 minutes to find out where the dick was in the first place. They're mostly feathers.
Should we just get ahead of it now and just like say some embarrassing stories?
No.
So that when we're on our deathbed, there's like only good ones left?
I mean, by all means, take the lead on that one.
Oh, okay. Got a great embarrassing story here from primary school growing up back in Ireland. There was a talent show one year, and I decided to perform Rock DJ by Robbie Williams. Didn't rehearse enough, so I only memorized the lyrics to the first verse, but also didn't know how to stop the song after the first verse. So they just played the song, and I just kind of sheepishly sang the first verse and then stopped singing while the music continued to play. And then I had to walk off stage and tell the teacher that was enough. And I didn't know the rest of the song.
That's enough.
And then they were like, okay, and that's all you know? And I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, Rory Powers, everyone.
It's quite a sexually charged song.
Is it?
For a kid to sing.
I was like 11 when I did this. Maybe there were like innuendos that I wasn't picking up on.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not a porno song, but it's just
this. So this is what I sang. These are the lyrics.
Feel free to sing it. I mean, Phil could probably put a royalty-free beat underneath.
These are pretty PG. I think so. So these are the lyrics I sang at my school talent show at 11 years old.
Go on.
Me with the floor show, kicking with your torso. Boys getting high and the girls even more so. I don't even know what the was going on.
I forgot it's like a rap. Yeah.
Yeah, I was rapping at 11 years old in front of like 100 kids.
And Robbie Williams is English, and he's kind of a lad, so it's kind of like a.
It's a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
I didn't move.
Boys
from the
getting high and the girls getting low.
I was like this into the mic. Wave your hands if you're not with the man. Can I kick it? Yes, I can.
You were reading it like a religious sermon almost. Where are we in the investigation? What's happening?
We're done. We're at the end.
Oh yeah. He
died.
confessed what was,
Maurice
he confessed
died.
that they told him something. They're always telling you something.
Yeah.
They've always got a message.
Yeah.
So condescending.
A little message. One cool thing about this encounter, which I found out right at the end of the investigation, is they actually turn it into a movie.
Right.
We can watch the trailer for it, but
Potpourri.
It was
A 1975 feature film.
I believe it's a French film, and it was released last year.
Wow.
Very recent.
Huh.
But it's a total retelling of this encounter that took place. It looks like kind of phenomenal. I'm just going to show Kit like a little clip so he can see, because it's also like, I think seeing this reenacted in such high quality also gives you a better idea and a vision of what these events actually were like when they were taking place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. This actually looks fire.
It looks phenomenal, doesn't it?
This looks really good.
Genuinely, I might see if I can like rent this and watch it. Maybe we could do like a movie club or something.
And it's called Valensole 1965.
I believe it's entirely in French, but I'm sure we can find it with subtitles.
It looks dope. It actually does. I'll give it that. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, because I guess that's the thing, right? That's what's poetic. That's what is film script worthy. Is sometimes in the paranormal, it's this thing of just one flash in the pan weird thing that happens, and then you reckon with that the rest of your life.
Yeah, and that's it. And the interesting part is being a person who has to deal with that. And as we've seen in a lot of cases, some people rise to the occasion, and you can go see them. They do panels and conventions, and they encourage it. And other people, like Maurice in today's story, it really affects their lives in strange and negative ways. Unfortunately, as I said, Maurice did pass away in 2004. Didn't even make it long enough to see this movie get made, unfortunately. But that does wrap up our story today into the Valensole UFO, while also briefly talking about the Socorro UFO, which kind of could have been its own investigation too. I know I showed you the doodle that guy drew in New Mexico of the ship, but that the UFO he drew has become super iconic in the world of UFO sketches, to the point where, I can show you some images that people have done, like kind of recreating it. And one thing we didn't mention in the sketch is that it has this marking on the front of like a half circle with an arrow and a line underneath it.
I didn't really think about that, yeah. I guess I just wondered, because it's quite a small drawing, I wondered if it was just a window or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
But now that you pointed out, it is clearly a set of markings.
Yeah, it's a very cool little, like, almost look like an emblem on the side of a craft, or like a logo for something, which is very cool. And a lot of people, I think, asked the question in France when Maurice saw his UFO. That would be the defining link, would be if his had the same
logo,
red logo on the side of it. But I couldn't find an answer to get to that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we're left with that part of the mystery unsolved. But both cases today, super interesting, very cool, credible UFO encounters that I'd definitely recommend if you're interested in Googling, just to see some of the crazy artwork that people have done. It's insane. But hey, we have to come down on our conclusions today. Kit, I'm going to throw you under the bus. Let me know where your head's at.
Cool. Well done. Awesome research on this story.
Thank you.
I kind of gave you a grilling earlier, saying that it wasn't going to be. Sorry, can you turn off your laptop?
Sorry, the laptop's off.
What do you?
I'm just trying to find any evidence. It sounds like you're going towards no, and I'm like panic searching right now to see if I can find anything.
Phil, play some French music, please. More stereotypical, please, if anything.
That's racist. No, you went too far there.
Really? Back to the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, in the spirit of a case that rarely takes us to Provence. I don't know where it is in France. Maybe it's not in Provence. But it takes us to a rural France, a place of simplicity, the ancient lifestyle carried through the years, simplicity of bread, wine, cheese, the stuff of life. Let's keep it simple here on this Paranormal Life. It's a yes.
Oh my goodness. I did not see that coming. I thought there was going to be more of a debate, but I love it. Listen, sometimes with this Paranormal Life, you just know it when you see it, when you feel it, when you hear the story, see the pictures, you can tell there's something there. And that's why this week it's going to be a double yes.
Wow. Very cool.
Wow. Listen, guys, I love this story. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's right on the edge of being believable and insane. I think because the encounter involves the magic pen that paralyzes people, that feels like in another world that could be too far. But I swear there has been multiple cases we've done before that have that exact same thing happen. Let me just quickly Google and see if anyone submitted this one. I think I found it, but sometimes we do a search and realize that we missed someone recommending this 1,000 times.
It was Maurice.
Oh my God.
2003, right before he died. He said, I got my dick sucked at a carnival. Also, these aliens said potpourri is the meaning of life.
Potpourri.
Our ship runs on potpourri.
All right, I'm just going to look up Valensole. That should do it. And that is 0 messages returned. Absolutely no one wanted this to happen.
Thanks for nothing, guys.
Probably someone submitted it in some other form, or the Socorro one, but I
They
can't
probably
find it.
tweeted you 4 years ago and you were like, amazing suggestion. Thanks so much.
I'll always use Twitter. This was the right place to send this. Thank you anyway. Guys, if you have any stories you want us to investigate, please send them in to us. We are always reading suggestions from the audience. And, hearing your recommendations are how we discover cases that we wouldn't have necessarily found ourselves. So you can send those into this Paranormal Life podcast at gmail.com. Of course, at the end of every podcast, we love to thank people who support us on Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, where have you been? It's only the most incredible platform on the internet to support independent creators and get something back in return. It is a little digital storefront where from as little as $5, you can get access to a bunch of cool extra stuff. Let's say you love this Paranormal Life. You enjoy listening to the show. You enjoy what we do here, and you want more of it, and you want to support us. You can do that on Patreon. You can sign up, pay a little bit of money, and get access to an unbelievable back catalog of additional episodes and content.
It's worth saying as well, because Patreon reminded us this recently. For years, we've been telling people, head over to Patreon. You can sign up, pay us $5, get access to a whole bunch of stuff. That is all true. What we've said less is that actually in recent times, you don't even need to pay us to sign up to Patreon. You can join as like a free member and get a bunch of stuff anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
So don't let a credit card stop you. Head over to Patreon. It's a great way to stay in touch with everything TPL. That's where we announce stuff a lot of times, tours, things like that. And yeah, there's a bunch of free stuff that you can check out over there anyway. And then if you want, you can pay for bonus episodes and things like that too.
I think we should make our own potpourri that we can sell. Like our own custom scent.
I fully thought you said boat buddy. Like that's how French your pronunciation has gotten, where I didn't even think it was a
Boat
word
buddy.
anymore.
We sell our own boat buddy. And of course, one of the rewards that you can get over on Patreon is a shout out at the end of the podcast. What a treat to be one of the people that gets your shout out at the end of a double yes.
Ooh.
My brain is cooked. I just Googled the word podcast. Let's get it up so we can thank these people right now. So thank you today, firstly, to Leah Elizabeth. Sorry, just reading that a little closer. It's actually a lizard Beth.
Oh.
So I actually don't think this is a human at all. I think this is a lizard.
Called Beth, or where does the Beth come into it?
Leah, that's the name of the lizard. A lizard Beth. A lizard Beth.
Or a lizard from Bethlehem.
Could be, possibly. Either way, there is a huge bug infestation in the commune. I don't think having an extra lizard around is going to do any harm. So I say welcome on in. Eat up. You're the only one eating good. Thank you also to Abby Lynn. Abby Lynn is always dabbling in different activities, different hobbies,
Yeah.
Which is a great thing to do. It's just like, oh, I'm taking up juggling. Just dabbling in juggling. Dabbling in this. Dabbling in, what does she say in her email? Alchemy.
Oh.
Is what she's dabbling in most recently.
Well, I mean, that's interesting.
Resurrecting the deceased.
Yeah.
She's Abby Lynn is dabbling.
Tough one to dabble in, I would have thought. You kind of got to throw yourself into that world. There's a lot to learn, isn't there?
Yeah. I feel like if you dabble in it, they come out wrong. You resurrect them in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a little irresponsible. Like, yeah, it's like saying I
dabble in crime. It's like you are just a criminal.
Or like I dabble in like cancer treatment. It's like, well, focus though, focus, because we need our best and brightest on that.
Yeah, and we do need help with our School of Alchemy, Abby. So if you ever want to make it as a teacher or a professor, we need you to stop dabbling, Abelin.
Hey, and great to meet you, Abelin. I be Kit.
Oh, Abby Rory. Yeah. And thank you finally today to Jared.
From Subway or?
I don't believe so.
Oh, good. That's
just
good.
Jared.
I think he's a criminal, isn't he? Or...
Who's Jared from Subway?
We'll move on.
You brought it up.
We'll move on.
Don't actually say that name on this podcast.
No, this is hopefully just a totally different, completely innocent Jared.
Yeah.
That we are very, very happy to have you in the commune. Do you know how to make a sandwich, though? Because seriously, that would be kind of useful.
Jared is, of course, married to their loving partner, which unfortunately we kind of have like a rule in the commune where it's like unless both partners in a relationship agree to enter the commune, it's kind of like you're divorced at the gates. Mm-hmm. We need like immediate separation from the outside world and your loved ones. What do they say in Scientology? If it's like, if someone is trying to convince you not to be a Scientologist, they're a negative person. And you need to distance yourself from them immediately. So Jared, even though you're married, you got to convince your partner to come into the gates. But you're only getting food for one. That's also how the rules work for marriages. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting the podcast, for supporting us over on Patreon.
Sorry, and then if one of you gets hungry, you can do the bird thing. Just like baby bird it into the other person's mouth.
Oh, that's very
sorry.
sweet.
You were sorry.
Yeah, just let's lift the spirits. Yeah. Lift the spirits. It's a wonderful place, the commune. There's food for everyone in districts 1 to 3. We hope you're
on the others.
Yeah, we're working on the others. It's a trickle down. We're all baby birding down the districts. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Can't believe we got a double yes. First one in a while.
Sure.
But it's been a real joy to host this episode. I'm sure we'll be back with another banger next week. Until then, remember to live fast, investigate, and die young, babies.